Captain Marvel was lit! And I'm saying that in like all seriousness. Like anytime she used her powers, she like literally lit up because of lights and fire and stuff.
A-Town movie review. It's the A-Town movie review. It's the A-Town movie review. It's the A-Town movie review.
Woo! Finally got to see Captain Marvel. I mean, it's of course I went to go see it. It's a Marvel movie. I'm a Marvel fan. I had to go see it. For those of you that don't know about Captain Marvel follows the story of this Kree alien warrior named Veers, and she has to go to the planet Earth to stop this shape-shifting alien called the Skrull from basically taking over and getting a hold of this device that can help them take over the universe. But at the same time, she's starting to get memories of a past that she totally forgot. I'm not gonna lie, before I saw this movie, I was getting really nervous and worried because I was seeing all these reviews saying that it was like meh, meh, and that made me sad because I like Brie Larson. She wasn't my first choice for the role, but I like her. I liked her in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I'm sure she was in other things, and I like Captain Marvel. So I went into this movie kind of scared, like, ooh, what's gonna happen? And there were people like saying that Brie Larson was just super whack and robotic in this movie, and I liked her. She was cool. I thought she did a good job as Captain Marvel. She was points where she was like very sarcastic, and I thought that was hilarious. And then most of the time she's just walking around just looking for someone to beat up, and I really liked that personality trait because Captain Marvel is a banger. She fights, and the whole movie she's just like, who am I going to jack up next? And I thought that was great. She did good. I liked her. And her and Samuel L. Jackson's character, who he plays as Nick Fury, of course, it's like a younger Nick Fury, and they make him look younger with CGI, which is really good, by the way. You can't even tell it's CGI. And their chemistry on screen is just great. They're hilarious together. Just the whole movie, they're just like cracking jokes, talking mess, and is kind of testing each other. I appreciated that. It was fun. It was fun watching them on screen together. They did a great job. I also want to give a shout out to Ben Mendelsohn, who plays as like the head Skrull Talos. Like he was really cool. Like all the Skrulls were really cool. The makeup on them was incredible. I prefer makeup over CGI aliens. It just looks more realistic. It looks better to me. And he did a phenomenal job to me. He was funny. He was cool. Like great villain. They did go a different direction with the Skrulls than they do in the comics, but it still worked out for this movie. I enjoyed it. There were a lot of people out there also slamming this movie for being man-hating. And when I went in to see it, I was actually looking for it. So, just anything that was like sexist towards men, I guess, if its message was like hate men, men are evil. And when I watched it, there wasn't any of that. It was just a movie with a female lead. And I feel that this movie is a great film for women everywhere. It's just like Captain Marvel is just such a symbol, and it doesn't follow any of the stupid cliches that like other films follow. So like I'll use an example. Wonder Woman, for example. Like towards the end of that film, her boyfriend Steve Trevor gets killed, right? And after he gets killed, she like Wonder Woman unlocks this inner power within herself, and she's able to use that to beat the bad guy. But like the message that gives is like she was only able to achieve this great power because of the love of a man. Whereas in Captain Marvel, it doesn't have that. She is struggling against the bad guy, sure, but then she unlocks this inner power within herself by herself. Like she didn't need a man to unlock it, help her unlock it. So it was just like, no, she searched inside herself, and then she released it. She became lit, and that's how. And then it's just little things like that that just made it more empowering towards women, I feel. Critics are gonna tell you that this movie is real. But like if you can take their advice if you want to, not go see it, or you can listen to me and just let me tell you my opinion. I like this movie. I was sitting down the other night just watching it, and I'm waiting for like all those horrible things that the reviewers were talking about it, and For me, they never popped up. I just from start to finish, I had so much fun watching this film. Great cast, great story. It was action packed. It was funny. Like, I couldn't complain. It isn't the greatest Marvel movie that it came out with, but it's definitely one of the good ones. Like, I would put it in the good category, whereas Iron Man 3 goes in the crappy category. Go see this movie. It ain't the best movie, but it's pretty dang close. So what did you guys think of my review? Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know down in the comments below. Let's have a conversation about it. And don't forget to tune into A-Town Reviews next week when I review the movie Bring Out Your Dead starring Nicolas Cage. Thank you, Patrick Staley. I will get on that as soon as possible. And also don't forget to leave down movie suggestions for films you'd like to see me review, because remember, it's you who decides what A-Town reviews.